for what he does do really well. We saw a lot of his early game stats tied for first in solo kills. He's first as far as forward percentage. He has some of the highest CSD in the entire league. Like, he is a dominant laner. He is legitimately very skilled mechanically. His decision making at times does let him down, and that's where, you know, he's always kind of fighting that battle, and that's where a lot of his critics will point to. But it just makes them a really fun team to watch, honestly, because anything can happen in an EG game.
Ziggs off the table. Diana, I think the premier AP jungler. Rumble, I believe, is non-viable as for the most recent set of nerfs to him in this patch. He's a good laner, just not a good jungler anymore. Nocturne, again, I will call the strongest champion in the current version of League of Legends. That one's off the table here as well. And then one final ban for EG, Xin Zhao, another premier jungler.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of these champions that were kind of S tier are now off the table altogether. So some of the champions that were right below them have now become somewhat permaban. And it will be interesting to see if anyone wants to play Lee Sin in the solo lane. Of course, the Emax did get nerfed. At rank 1E, it's the same damage, but as you go up, it is less than previous. So it's tougher to just have that kind of playstyle where you're just auto-push and insta-kill all the waves. Yep. You can still make it work, it's just not quite as powerful. But to your point, you kind of expected to see it in the jungle because that doesn't really affect that as much. It's almost always Qmax from the jungle, which is not really changed.
It is not. Aphelios Thresh, though, is one thing that's been changed. Aphelios definitely a lot stronger, and we saw it play pretty well in the previous game. I think if TL didn't start the game 0-5, could have walked away with a win off of, you know, having a close game. Here it's EG grabbing it. Danny has been generally pretty good. Certainly rough around the edges. Yes, he is a rookie. Yeah. There have been some mistakes, but the mechanics are there, and obviously Ignar on the Thresh can both play the aggressive and the defensive side to keep him safe.
And to me, that's what I look at when I look at really young players. Danny is a very young player, one of the youngest guys, if not the youngest in the league, to be honest. So you want the mechanics. They can learn these other things through experience. You know, they haven't had a lot of time on the LCS stage, but if you can show some really incredible team fighting, some strong individual plays, which I think he has, that does kind of say you've got a promising future here. Set for the solo lanes. Likely impact just feels so obvious as far as who would be playing this style of champion. I cannot see it being Jizuke, especially with them being red side. They're almost always going to last pick for him. So it's very likely the set to actually answer the Gwen up on that top side. That is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to be Lee Sin jungle. Of course, things could be flexed around, but the Lee also struggles into the set. So there's not a great matchup there for FlyQuest.
Have seen some Gwen jungle, so hey, always a chance you can move that one around, but yeah, I'm thinking it's set versus Gwen up in the top lane. And in general, if you look at Gwen's like solo queue matchup tables, melee, auto attack focused fighters are the ones that are good into her. Yeah. Fiora, Jax, Riven, I think set fits that mold. I don't know that matchup specifically, but it's the kind of thing that has been successful before.
Yeah, Jax is always an interesting one to me because I've felt like that matchup is so bad for Gwen for a long time, but just no one really plays Jax at the pro level because it does kind of require more of a commitment to split push, which just is not popular these days, which such a focus on objectives and 5v5ing. Jax doesn't excel very well there, but a lot of bans being thrown over towards Dreams. They already do have the Thresh on EG's side, so Nautilus as well as Leona banned out. You can look towards things like the Alistar if you do want some sort of hard engage, but we've also seen teams in these kind of situations move towards things like Braum, which can also work out quite well. Could be Viego jungle very easily here for Svenskeren. Does have some pretty significant sustain nerfs in the laning. Off the minions, it went from, I think, 100% to you only get half the sustain you got before off of minions. So you can't just do this ignore all poke and shove anyway style. Braum, as I mentioned, does make sense when a lot of the hard engage champions do get banned out. You can look towards that.
People are increasingly happy to play LeBlanc. The earlier power spikes have certainly put the mana mages back on the table in the mid lane. I think they're also very good bot lane, by the way, if the comps can make those work as well. But LeBlanc, again, 2 games in a row now, grabbed up.
I am already thinking magic damage, a lot of magic damage on this FlyQuest side. MR becomes pretty darn effective. Varus even has some mixed in. Of course, Lee Sin, very heavily physical, so is Varus, but they do have some magic mixed into the kit. Gwen plus Rakan plus LeBlanc. MR going to be at a premium here, it feels like, for the EG side. Yeah. And we're just kind of waiting to find out, presumably, Jizuke's answer to this LeBlanc. Would be interesting to see something like the Sandra, which has been getting a little bit of popularity, mostly just CLG playing it. But those types of picks can be a great answer into this. I'm just not sure it's his style. He generally wants more of the aggressive picks. Sylas would kind of fit the bill here. Of course, stealing the LeBlanc ultimate is pretty worthless, but there are some decent ones. Rakan, notably, is one of the kind of premier ults people like to steal. As Sylas, you E into the middle of the fight, you get the speed ups as your ult does CC them, and that can be pretty valuable.
Okay, Sylas is in. Certainly a bit MR skewed. Not quite a Galio, where you really meant to just tank magic damage. Johnson going to be one of the main physical damage sources. It can work out pretty well. Obviously, if everyone's building MR, lethality feels better. We pretty much see exclusive lethality Varus. Almost never do we see the attack speed versions or the crit versions, though I think they can be played in the right time and right place. But the champ select has been locked in. Set top versus Gwen. Indeed, Lee Sin, Viego. 2 games in a row is the jungle match. They have been seemingly pushed out of lanes into the jungle from what we've seen so far. And another LeBlanc matchup here as well, as we get to see the Karma skipped over. Obviously, she was banned in this case, but Lulu available, not grabbed there, so no Enchanter play for either of these sides.
Going to be interesting to see if Palafox wants to go towards the Ignite, the aggressive option here. Generally, if you want to have any sort of kill pressure on the Sylas, you need some sort of healing debuff. The Kingslayer healing is so powerful, so it's not just about having the added damage, but also the Grievous Wounds from the Ignite would be valuable there. But he can also just go towards the TP, look to match. I will say in a game like this, it feels worse because Sylas, I do think, is going to win in the side lanes in the later stages. Of course, if it's just about the shove, we saw Jensen have a successful game with the TP LeBlanc, playing heavily towards those side lanes. So interested to see what they want as far as runes.
For sure. Curious also who's getting the healing cut. You are against Sylas and Viego. That is a lot of healing. You care about that. Someone's got to grab it. I think in general, Varus E is not going to be enough. Someone else has to go for that one. And it's probably not Dream. So someone's got to sidestep their build to get an Executioner's Calling or an Oblivion Orb, and we'll wait to see when that comes through.
So already eyes drawn towards the top lane here. It is the Ignite for Licorice. That means he has more kill potential, but is also much more vulnerable to ganks. Set can set this up. You can have Viego up there early. We did see the alternate option, someday playing it with Flash, trying to avoid some of that jungle pressure, which Gwen has often fallen prey to in the LCS when playing this style.
Yes, absolutely. I want to see if the ganks come through. You can watch them as well from first-person perspective as the top lane pro view matchup here, Licorice versus Impact. Going to be one to watch for sure. And yeah, could well see plenty of pressure up here. Licorice sadly has not had the best year here on FlyQuest.
No.
You can look over, right over there. I know you mentioned it last week. There's a, you can't see it. I don't know why I'm pointing. There's a big mural of Cloud9, the LCS champions of spring 2020. It's Licorice and Sven holding the trophy, smiling, thumbs up. Niski's there, Reaper's there. And very few of those faces are still on that roster, about only half of them. And Licorice is down here with the worst record of any team in the summer split. He hasn't been part of all those losses. The Academy players went in the end of last Sunday. Didn't come up with a way to win against Golden Guardians. But now, trying to turn it around, trying to be a force for the carry. They are about to drop out of playoff contention right now if they keep finding the losses. Jose Diodo gets the one last auto and then goes in for next camp.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that he did even talk about in interviews early on after he had made that swap is kind of the change, right? Moving from what was a championship roster over to what is essentially a development roster. Someone that was looking more towards the future and how big of a shift that can be. It's a pretty heavy trading here, back and forth between Johnson and Danny. You can see the Summoners very defensive on the FlyQuest side. Cleanse plus Exhaust plus Guardian, the setup very clearly. They're just looking more to play back, to poke, to farm. And Danny and Ignar should be able to dictate the pace of this lane much more so.
Decent damage there. Jizuke going to chug through some potions to keep himself healthy. Palafox having a great time in the early lane. Small CS lead. Some more to farm for Jizuke, sure, but feeling pretty good as he's going to drop yet another melee minion right down there. Is Impact. The good sidestep. Licorice away from, I believe, all of it, actually.
Yeah.
So saves the E for the punch back as he plays the trading patterns out. That's respect to the stun. Might have known that Impact learned Q. And yeah, auto plus E reset. Not going to have to kill the ward, so not going to lose that one.
Yep, nicely played. If you can dodge out on that Haymaker, gonna win out in the trades. But for now, it's Jizuke getting whittled down. And
wow, that chain, yeah, would have gotten the back half of Q and maybe would have guaranteed the lethal damage. Now he's gonna jump in the top side. Licorice wants to fight, gets stunned up though. That trade looked better for Impact.
Absolutely, but Impact is getting pushed in. He's not actually getting access to the mini wave. He's going to have CS to farm, but I don't think that there's 15, 16 CS for him to actually even it out.
Does not have mana for W, I believe. Is it the proper guess? Did he get it right? Figures it out, actually, as he was rooted, I believe, and now that is first blood. Jizuke comes in to claim it. Top dive comes in, and top die into Impact.
Nicely done. It ends up being even worse that Palafox didn't just immediately die, to be honest, because Jizuke arrives back and picks up the first blood for himself. So now that goes right in the pocket of your lane opponent. And on the top side, Impact getting dove.
Goodbye to your recall. Sorry, bud, you're on a ward.
That looks a little angry emote there. We'll be able to walk it out, as I don't think Impact wants to chase this far to give up the push here. And this is kind of one of those weird situations where, well, we'll see, as Danny is going to back it up, I think. Yep. You know, sometimes people do that little mini wave pull, you know, almost thinking that it's going to freeze, but
well, it'll push a bit slowly and deny a few minions, but it will not freeze for him. Good flight backwards. Big damage. Dreams. Not quite rootable, but so low on health.
Yeah, I mean, it actually ends up being worse for you in a lot of cases because it starts a slow push. So it is one of those things that unless you're going to call your jungler up there, it can be difficult. But EG looking for a 4v2 play here. Jose Diodo moving down, so they are aware now, but I don't think they've seen Jizuke.
He didn't see him. Does not get hit with the chains, though. Not stunned up in place, so they're going to have a third member for defense. With all the shields, could be okay. Does not sidestep. The flash follow for the stun. They preempt the flash. He didn't even have one anyway.
Go again.
And now they're going to go for round 2. TP comes in. Palafox is here to help. Gets to push in the wave. Won't lose too much. Keeps his bot lane alive.
Yeah, he has the TP just to cover, though. Jizuke got another kill.
Yeah.
So now 2-0 on the Silas here. Picks up the first kill on Palafox, moves down to the bot side, kills off Jose Diodo. Nice moves from EG. Being able to battle back here a little bit. Top lane, somewhat of a disaster, unfortunately, for Impact. He is massively behind. You know, the wave got stacked, got pushed in. He got dove on that wave. Wasn't really able to collect a lot of the farm. And it just sucks so much when you can't get a decent buy, you know, on that first base. You're playing without TP. We can watch this one more time, though. Jose Diodo had no vision of Jizuke, so he moves forward, seeing Svenskeren back up. But that wasn't the real problem. And he knows he's got to get over to Fly, their bot lane, to try to defend them. He's worried about the wraparound, about the dive that's going to come through, but he just gets cut off. He gets preempted. Not able to make it there. They get killed off, so the TP has to come through here from Palafox, who at the very least, I think got to reset his wave before he TP'd down, but he's down in farm. It's 2 kills to 0, and it's going to be a tough time.
1,000 gold lead already. Evil Genius is off to a good start. First dragon has spawned. Rip Herald is not up yet. Jungler's still going through their first 5 smites. And now Licorice, Dreams, and Jose Diodo looking at what could be a dive. Going to be spotted. They know where Viego is. Jizuke is going to come in. Decent damage there. Dunk's coming around. Plenty of shots, but the turn's going to help. Impact will still get a 1-for-1 as now Jose Diodo going to drop as well. A 2-for-1 tower dive EG. They're looking at Dreams becoming nightmares. Nowhere to go. Third kill comes in. Aggression winning the day for Evil Geniuses.
Jizuke is being so proactive here on the map. Moving up towards the top side. They knew Palafox had spent his TP to the bot side. He has prio mid, so he just runs straight up there. He hadn't been back to base in so long, but he didn't need it. He picked up the blue buff after their bot side play, runs straight towards top. He has the early ultimate. He's got the level 6. Licorice doesn't even have access to his ulti yet, so he goes in here. They're looking to set up the dive. You can see they're using Viego to try to zone him off. Licorice hits 6 as a minion dies, trying to fight it back, but with Ignar here, Jizuke can tank up a number of turret shots, then get Lantern out to safety. Yes, Impact eventually does go down, but Svenskeren has already gotten the resets, and with the wave there to actually reset the wave and hold the tower aggro, there's no way out for Dreams whatsoever. So really well executed from EG. Overload the top side, knowing Palafox cannot respond. And Jizuke has a huge buy off that now. He picked up the full Lost Chapter plus his boots. 1,600 plus gold to spend is massive.
Really good stuff. Good roam by Jizuke. Good roam by Ignar. Good gank by Svenskeren. Good wave manipulation by Impact.
Good show here by Kobe and Dash.
Yeah, that is a great show. I hear they talked about me on it in the recent episode, which is good because that makes every episode better.
That picture was horrifying.
Much like the dive that was also recently featuring you and me.
True.
One of the best shows in all of LoL eSports. You know, anything with Freak and Azael on it is outstanding. This cast, really incredible stuff, I think, as well.
Look at us go.
Yeah, just wow. What can't we do? Lose.
Not much. All right, so Licorice back on that top side. I think the early Bramble makes sense since it's Viego and Set on the top side, and that's kind of what he's trying to itemize towards. Healing debuff there. And does actually get back and blocks the Haymaker with the W, so I think did step back far enough that he was able to immune that damage, so nicely done from him. But a lot of his lead is gone because of that counter dive they pulled off. They're able to deny a lot of the minions there. It was that stacked wave, so the same kind of treatment has happened to both of these top laners, and things have largely equalized around that. We'll see if Licorice can try to extend some sort of advantage, because mid lane is going to be a big problem. Jungle is going to be a big problem. Svenskeren and Jizuke are massively ahead of Jose Diodo as well as Palafox at this point.
Right now, it's going to be top river just owned by EG, and even though Lee Sin is nearby and has his upgraded smite available because of the rune he took, he's actually able to get to his 6th smite pretty early on, sub 9 minutes. That's because of the rune. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have the control. Cannot get the 900 damage smite anywhere into range, and Svenskeren saving his 5th, hits it for 450, grabs the first Herald, and will look to finish a turret somewhere. Both top lanes basically got like 100 health on that first plate. Bot lane's already taken one fully down themselves. We'll see which lane it goes to try to get the full first turret. Feels likely based on how much they're winning a lot of their lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. Could just drop it off mid, just kind of continue getting Jizuke ahead. Has been having a great game here on the Sylas, and Svenskeren really kind of started the snowball for him. You know, being there around mid lane, stunning up Palafox, stopping the base after Palafox, as well as Jizuke traded flash for flash. That first kill going the way of Jizuke really kind of set the pace of the game, because that allowed Jizuke to make this move to bot. Then they forced the TP there. Then he makes a move to top that can't be answered. When you lose priority around mid and you have a player like Jizuke who's willing to give up farm to make these aggressive moves, the map can start to feel largely out of your control very, very quickly.
So how does FlyQuest get back in is the question we're going to be asking and looking for. It is the early Oblivion Orb for Palafox. He's going to be the one answering Sylas. Good damage in the top side. Licorice probably should have waited out the shield, but wastes his last ultimate against 0 damage. Goes in for the kill. Cannot find it. Svenskeren's there in time. Licorice probably could have made it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Svenskeren able to cover there, but I agree. You have to wait out that Haymaker shield. Didn't do it. Spent some damage on it. Not sure if he would have had that last R charge to be able to kill him off. And Palafox now looking onto Jizuke.
Good damage. Lantern shield there for good measure. Jose Diodo doing kind of the same thing though on the Lee Sin. It's even both on W. Ultimately no kills either side. 5 CSD in the mid lane with even more to farm. So Palafox last hitting well, but there we go. That's what we're looking for, right? Top lane. They knock down 3 plates by punching him, stabbing with a sword, and then don't even waste the damage. Herald will always do the last 2K. Good sidestep there. Good distortion return. Gets away from the chains, but still a very rough look here for Palafox in mid as well.
Yeah, I mean, this game just is getting so tough. You know, that was the one place they were winning, was Licorice on this top side. He was ahead. He had gotten quite a bit ahead of Impact. Then they got that great dive off. That play put them in a position where you're saying, all right, well, at least they can play through the top lane. But these repeated plays back up there have all gone bad. You know, Licorice gets dove on the wave. Then what could have potentially been a 1-for-1 goes bad for him. Even without that, they lose the entire tower. So it's a Stridebreaker already complete now for the set. And Licorice with his pit stop to the Bramble Vest is so far away from actually completing his Riftmaker.
Yeah, it's a rough one. He's going to keep trying to scale up, though, but they're looking down a 3,500 gold lead. Saw this one in the previous game, and it took a while to close out, but it was still the red team with your lead that won it in the end. Stridebreaker still in for the set. Just going to have the extra slow in this case. Divine Sunderer is in for Svenskeren as he goes for the Bruiser build. We see time and again here on Viego. Gore Drinker in for Lee Sin. Going to frontline a bit better. A couple of different mythic options then, because we saw Stridebreaker from Lee in the previous game. So 2 different ones there. Lantern for Danny just in case he feels unsafe. Gonna auto that ward down, and yeah, there's gonna be no engage, so no gank for Jose Diodo, just 1, 2, and 1.
Yep, trade of flashes between the marksmans there. Dreams also committing the ulti, but definitely looking rough for FlyQuest. As, you know, we haven't even had to talk about the bot lane because it's just been kind of a push and farm here for Danny, but he's farming very well. You know, he's going to hit 130 plus CS here at 12.5 minutes, a really good rate for him on the Aphelios. This is a champion that scales incredibly well, that wants to move towards these items as fast as possible. So the fact that Danny hasn't had to do anything, hasn't had to move from his wave, and is also now picking up multiple tower plates here, is just going to feel so good. He for sure has his mythic completed. The question is just how much does he have on top?
Not quite going to be plate number 4, but still a minute to go. If you really beeline it, you can get maybe one more before it all falls apart. But, I mean, who cares? 4,000 now the lead. And knock up in mid, though. Could they be a kill? And Jizuke only chained those. He gets away. Had to burn his flash, but he lives. That's the important part. TP comes in as now Impact wants in. Cannot find that stun as Dreams is forced to flash away from that set. And look at this. Bot lane going to lose its 4th turret plate. And as Dreams is out of the lane, and Ignar and Danny are still here, they're going to go for all the way through number 5. 5 plates taken top. Looks to be about 5 plates taken to the bot lane. First turret gold already claimed as well. Taking his time, but with a lantern, should feel safe.
Oh, no.
Is he in range?
He's not going to die. Oh.
Yeah, it is, but was not in local turret gold range. So optimized for minion CS, lost the 250, and I believe shouldn't have lost the plate because that plate range is absurd. But
yeah, he won't lose the plate. We'll lose the local gold. That last minion, though, the final shot from the last minion killed it off. That would have been hilarious if it didn't actually go down. Does collect it, though, and has a ton of gold off the back of this base. Full Gale Force completed, pickaxe on top. So he is monstrously strong, farming it at a very, very quick rate. Jizuke looking really good. Svenskeren is huge. This is going to be a very tough team to deal with. They didn't take a super early dragon or anything like that, so FlyQuest doesn't have to be ultra concerned about a quick soul, but still you expect them to grab this next dragon here around 17 minutes, continue pushing that towards an eventual soul threaten.
Not going to land it. I like when Varus hold the Q for longer because he starts to yell. And he's like, I can't hold it much longer! And he just misses, and it's like, oh, okay, well, you tried really hard for nothing.
He warned you, you know?
He did, yeah. Shot wide. Oh, well. It's okay. 4.5K. Waiting for the second dragon spawning in 2 minutes. EG still just in complete control of this one. They've got the Aphelios skilling advantage here as well. Feeling pretty good. Waiting to see Licorice's Mythic, as you had mentioned a little bit earlier. Lee Sin now a Steel Capsid, can frontline decently well. To be fair, he is against 3 AD, so we'll get a fair bit done out of the item. FlyQuest get a Scuttle Crab, then run back to their territory.
Yeah, most of the EG members all have their Mythic support. You can kind of exclude from that because their first Mythic often comes in so late. But EG really well and truly online here. Infernal and 130, that's what I am looking for them to play towards. Jizuke going towards the Everfrost can be really nice on this champion, to either be able to set up your E or you land the E, then you chain it with the Everfrost afterwards, and makes it very, very difficult to actually play against, especially when you have multiple melee champions. That lockdown can be very effective in a team fight.
Punch-in Rift Herald number 2. They actually have some time because the dragon hasn't come back up just yet, so sure, go for it. There are camps up, right? He could have gone for red, could go for chickens. His frog's up in a second, but he's like, wait a second. I can get those whenever. I want to get this Rift Herald, knock another turret with it. No problems down here. Crosshat play for FlyQuest. They've sent 3 to the bottom lane, but Jizuke with Recon ult just dares you to dive in. Like, I will charm you and then stun you and then heal. Hey, look, you tried, I charmed you, and I've stunned you, and I've rooted you in place, and I am out of there. Nice try in the gank. Aphelios ult comes in. Not much more to be had, realistically. They get some turret damage and not much else. Good job, Jizuke, to get away.
Yep, able to get away, and that was the TP committed from Licorice, and that's the first play that FlyQuest have looked for in a while, and not very effective. And Set is shoving on the top side. No one is moving up to actually answer this Set, but he does not have teleport. So will EG just give over the dragon here? He's got to start moving quickly if he doesn't want to, but they might be willing to just trade for a turret.
All right, mid lane being pushed down. This mid lane's at half HP as well, so yeah, it wouldn't be a terribly difficult summon on the EG side. They could also go for like top lane tier 2. It is worth more gold. Positioning, I think, yeah, mid lane outer is a very important turret, and it helps you get around the map and take territory easier. But objectively, more money is in top or bot tier 2. I'm curious if that will become a different decision at some point in time for teams later on. If they kind of figure out they'd rather have the surge of gold and less so the map positioning. Yeah. Regardless, though, mid-outer is gone. There's the dragon ready for the taking, and EG going to claim that one, too.
Yep, Impact just got the push, then moved down. They use the Rift Herald mid. They actually get a second charge, and that tier 2 almost dead as well, because no one there from FlyQuest to actually answer it. So the minion wave getting a lot of work done on this mid lane tower. And FlyQuest are kind of just balled up over these last 5-10 minutes, haven't been making a lot of plays. Once they fell behind, the only play they really looked for was the dive onto Jizuke, but with the Recon ulti, it was easily stopped by him. And EG just kind of getting further and further ahead. They're a good 5K up at this point, looking quite good.
Yes, absolutely they are. And we just keep going. I mean, it is going to be slow pace for a little while. You can see Impact not in a rush to shove the wave down. Of course, Baron not on the table. Next Dragon more than 4 minutes away. Those aren't easy to play for. The only objective EG can look at are turret kills. And right now, they're not immediately going for them. As I mean, there are 4 camps up for the jungler to take, and Jizuke. Oh, that was so sick! He predicts the distortion back, but can he finish killing Palafox? Now he's LeBlanc, but he's also in a 1 versus 3. It might be time to run away. Can distort if he needs to. Doesn't have to just yet. Holding it for now. Stun not going to quite land. Svenskeren going to get away from the chain.
But even that little push, guess what they're losing off of? They're losing multiple jungle camps. So EG are just whittling away at the gold here. And you always love to actually see, this kind of jungle domination taking over. But on the top side, it's a fight.
Big dunk, big damage. Licorice at 1 hit, and Impact just hits him with the wallet. Nicely done, takes the kill. Meanwhile, there was a Lee Sin plus Dreams gank. Impact low, and Impact drops. So FlyQuest cross map get a 2 for 1.
Nicely done. FlyQuest getting a couple kills there. The solo kill coming through from Impact. Palafox able to clean that up. Did cost him his flash as well as his teleport. We did not catch how Jizuke died. Maybe a bit of an overstay there. But they were kind of getting that jungle control on the bottom side, trying to farm 3 quadrants. That's one of the most reliable ways to get ahead in League of Legends. When you have the more powerful fight, when you have the additional gold, you try to move in, you try to get these wards, and that's what they were really looking for. You can see that mini-map down on the bottom side. Jizuke just pushing, stayed around a long time. His jungler is here, and he's actually looking for the cross-map TP play, so honestly, really well done there by FlyQuest. It's kind of hard to blame Jizuke for that one. You can say maybe you shouldn't have been TPing on the wave, but to be able to actually respond to this play of mid laner TPing in, he had to go immediately. Didn't know anyone was around. So a nice little trap laid there by Dreams as well as Jose Diodo down in that bottom lane.
As waves go down, we get EG continuing the pressure. Bot lane well past river, mid lane going to be the same, as we just had Varus finishing clearing it in front of his own turret. Nice, hook's going to land, big damage. Dreams' flash is caught, but the W is going to get him out. Stays alive now, stun not going to land for Svenskeren either, but they get to go for the camps yet again. Get rid of the wards, just keep owning the bottom river. 3 control wards within the same screen of each other. They just completely own this. Another invisible ward, 2 more right up there, so they've just lit up this area of the jungle. But for now, they can't finish owning it because they're going to have to go and look at everything else. So we'll see how much FlyQuest can clear out of that.
And trying to play a little bit of this kind of guerrilla warfare where Jose Diodo trying to find camps when he can, trying to take away resources when he can. Can't fully commit to clearing out that camp. And EG here trying to lay a trap, trying to catch someone in transition. Looking now towards mid.
Oh, it's going to land. Big root. Impact gets the slow. Can't quite get the knockback, though, and it's going to be enough. Who cares? Ulti not needed. Lantern for safety. No problem. Well done. Johnson down through his ult and 2 summoners.
Yep, didn't even need the ulti because he got the clap back. He had the stride breaker slow as well. There's no walking out of that one for Johnson. Fortunately for him, getting picked off there. Pretty costly. The one bright spot, though, for EG, or rather for FlyQuest, is down on this bottom side. Licorice going to be able to clean up the tower, so they do get some pressure on the other side of the map. They're trying to play these side lanes, trying to get gold where they can. Tower getting very, very low here for FlyQuest, though. Would like to see EG try to establish some vision control, push up, knock down that turret, get a little bit more gold in their pockets. And Danny now has his 2 items, the pickaxe on top, so he's kind of ready to go. Really, that's what you need.
TP coming in. Jizuke has to run away from this one. Is there enough of a chase down as he puts the slow in? 2 Palafoxes and a Licorice. Is not enough to kill a Jizuke. He's going to try. Zhonya's comes in. Now Impact is here as well. Once again runs away. Ignite is on. Heals yet again. Here comes Set. And it's going to be the kill. Pulls him back. Licorice is down. Palafox cannot be in the fight. Way to be a homie. Good job, Impact.
A great TP there from Impact, and the stasis was perfectly timed from Jizuke, buying enough time for the Set to arrive. Then he lands the chain stun onto Licorice, buying himself even more time. And he just get dunked right off him, and it's got to be really frustrating for Licorice, not able to pick up the kill there. Was so incredibly close to knocking down Jizuke, but he survives. Licorice dies again. And everything just kind of going the way of EG here. Zhonya's completed, so the stasis is once again ready for Jizuke. Already talked about the 2 items done for Danny. Svenskeren got up a lot of early kills, and he's on 2 items. And they're just going to keep showing up for these dragons. They're going to put themselves to soul point. I don't think FlyQuest want anything to do with this one, so they're going to have to look towards that 4th dragon to see if they can challenge that point.
4,000. Somewhat flat, the gold difference. Turret score 4-1, kill score 9-4. but the farm has been good. Jungle's got more, Licorice especially for the top side's got more farm, but even Palafox doing really well. So the side lane wave acclimation, or accumulation I should say, has been good for FlyQuest at least.
It has. You know, they're farming pretty well. They're trying to get as much gold as possible. They're trying to steal away Krugs in some of these camps that they can really be scrappy for.
Whoop. Careful.
Impact.
Nice bit of damage. Going to save the punch for now. Dunks him back into the squad. Nowhere to go. Goodbye, Lee Sin. You really had no counterplay.
Yeah, the angle there really good from Impact, dunking him into his marksman. Straight on the Baron. Perfect stuff there. And I mean, EG have the scaling. That's the toughest part here for FlyQuest. You've got LeBlanc, Lee Sin, you're behind early. It's going to be tough to try to stop them. Not everyone is here. Licorice is coming. So is Johnson. The poke will begin, but it's already gone.
Yep. All right, they danced around. They said, okay, we don't really have the option. It's a 4v5. Licorice, too far away. Okay. Yeah, they've got jungler. Okay, out we go. So good if FlyQuest don't throw their bodies in and just kill themselves as well, make it even worse. But obviously, this means we are staring down the barrel of an EG victory.
Yep.
As they might improve to their 17th win here. Red Bull Baron is on, and they're going to look to knock down some objectives.
The only kind of scaling advantage I really see for them is Licorice, but he's just died off so many times. It doesn't feel like they have really anything going on. And as you said, they are warded out. And Svenskerian's like, yeah, sure, I'll take this 1v2. He's strong.
Yeah, he's going to be fine with that one. 2 items. Not quite there for the LeBlanc. Supposed to finish the next one. Just components otherwise. And yes, out you go. Nice try. Doesn't mean anything. And we look for the tier 2 turrets to kill.
Oh. IE now done for Danny as well. Big 3 items for him. Picked up that topside kill, courtesy of Impact. He has kept up a really good pace of farm. 275 at 24.5. You know, well over the 10 CS per minute mark. So he's super rich, grabbed a couple kills, got a bunch of turret plates. He is insanely fed, but hasn't really had to be a big part of the game. It's now Licorice looking for a play, but Impact's tanky. He's tough to take down, and he can kind of just walk it out. You know, you're not going to be able to 100-0 this guy, so he's only really going to have to be locked in that fight if he wants it.
And looks like he's just able to walk away. Yeah, and it's no problem at all. Mid lane tier 2 already gone. Top lane being split by Jizuke as he's waiting for the next wave to come in to deal some extra damage there. He's got the wave. Turret should die. Dancing around. Says, okay, I'm not getting ganked. Okay, cool. We'll walk in. We'll take the last hit. Now here comes the play. Svenskerian. The flash is going to catch him out for the knockup. The charm for a second. Ults back to safety. And they no longer have the chasing tools. Just gets right back out. Burns 3 quads to do so, but indeed lives.
Yeah, it does cost him some. But, I mean, you're killing off the towers in the side lanes. Jizuke back to base here, has TP ready. I think he's going to TP on the minion. We'll see if they want to commit to this or if he's just going to walk out, but he is sitting in base, so must have some sort of a big buy.
Ulti comes in for Varus. Danny, yeah, forced to cleanse it away. Thought maybe I'll get Lee Sinsect, so let's just get away for that one. Don't know why I said it that way, but that's what we're going to call it in this game as the turret keeps getting attacked down on the bottom side. Still 45 seconds of the Baron buff. Goodbye to the bottom inhibitor turret. Mid lane under a bit of fire as well, but Svenskerian actually forced a bit out down to 1/4 health. Nice attempted dunk, not going to mean much though. As everyone gets back to safety, bottom hip can still be under fire. Svenskerian doesn't have a lot of regen, so he's going to be low for this entire fight. No Sterix, no GA. Gonna have a hard time doing anything here, so pops the invisibility. Maybe I can create some pressure this way. But the inhibitor not yet down. Jizuke at half health as well. Zhonya's is up, has the Rakan ult, might find himself into a team fight. Danny wants the auto attacks, but has to get pushed away by Licorice. Turret dead, inhibitor now also, as they've knocked down the bottom lane entirely. Dragging up in 115 and just enough time for everyone to hit B and get back on the map and take that objective.
Yep. FlyQuest will be able to cover these waves. The Baron's expiring, so not going to get more, but still 4,500 gold from that Baron power play. That is big. And as you said, the setup will be there in time. Even more items coming through here. Danny knows he can build defensive from this point. I think the Hex Shrinker makes a lot of sense. If you're trying to imagine a situation in which you die, it's probably LeBlanc looking for some sort of a flank play. Hunter is zeroing you, maybe a TP flank from the Gwen as well. But he's got Ignar behind him, and they've been positioning well. You know, Ignar hasn't always been kind of moving forward and committing for hooks. He's just been sitting back, having Lantern behind him, and now Licorice caught out in this side lane.
Okay, not going to land the first chain. He keeps running away. Ulti going to come across. Easy charm. Big damage initially, and now Licorice, his days are numbered. Tries to get what damage he can, but it's never going to be enough. Trades back into Jizuke. Zhonya's is forced, and Svenskerian's going to finish up the kill. But what? Just one-shots him. Bonked. Diff, say it in all chat. Yeah, he's got more CS, but that was pretty cute.
That was nuts.
That was a lot of damage. Well, that's Dragon.
Damn, that was sick. What was that? Was that flash on the Varus ult? Immediate Gale Force with his own ulti on the flash and just instant kill. Those are the mechanics you're looking for. Go off, Danny.
Yeah, okay. Well, Cloudsoul when you want it. For the meantime, hey, it's 5v3 in the map. Go push down what you can. Jizuke is TP-less and top lane, so it's a 4v3 for the Siege. They say, okay, just middle inhibitor turret then.
Man.
Take the hard objective.
I don't even care. I want the replay.
Yeah, I know.
That was so cool.
That was cool.
All right, let's watch this one more time. So Johnson here looking for an ult. He knows he needs to make the play. Ult flash from Danny. Gale Force in. Oh, just deletes him. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, ult, Gale Force, 2 crits. I think that was the damage output there. Whew. That hurts. It's a lot of damage. Comes to the Hex Drinker just for good measure in case he's going to be attacked by LeBlanc. I like that. Take the option to go defensive. Ma now even done. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. I like the build. He's going to be in a plenty good spot. Guardian Angel done for Svenskeren. As we know, Cloudsoul is in. And EG, well, in 45 seconds, they can get second Baron and use that to close out the game.
Just donating all the farm to this marksman. He's ridiculously fed. The Soul Laners looking to fight, moving around the map, playing proactive. It's been a good game here for EG. They have Soul, as you said. Ignar caught out, but team is coming. Back him up.
Hook, box, Guardian, gonna stay alive. Here comes Jizuke, big damage. Palafox pushed back out. Once again has the charm, but be careful. Might need to burn Zhonya's soon. Jizuke doesn't have it, I believe, and does go down. Palafox picks up 1, but the chase down. Will they get anything on EG's side? Yeah, they're gonna get 1 trade back. Jose Diodo, ward hops away. A 1-for-1 is as good as you can hope for on FlyQuest side.
Absolutely. Jizuke, I'm not sure if he used this Zhonya's early or just didn't have it from that previous play. You know, Licorice will remember forced it out in the bot lane, so it may have been on cooldown there. But despite the 1-for-1, the pressure is so heavily in the favor of EG. Yes, they lost Jizuke, but if you can't get to Danny, you can't win the fight at this point. He is way too strong. That Baron's getting melted.
But Flay LeBlanc, but was over the wall, no problems there. Just watch the Lee Sin, not in range. Okay, easy contest, easy secure, no problem. Smite is ours, and that is going to be claimed up. So Baron number 2 is on the docket. A 10,000 gold lead. 1 final reset, group with the Silas, and probably close out the game.
Yeah, you would expect them to be able to close it out here. The mid lane inhibitor is exposed. The bot lane is already dead, so march it down, knock down those inhibs, look to close this one out cleanly. They have the item completions coming through. GA just gets finished. Titanic, Hydra got finished on top. The Zhonyas will be ready this time around as well. They've even got the Mikhails here from Ignar, which I think makes a lot of sense when you're, again, you have to think about how do your opponents come back. Maybe something like a Varus ultimate on a carry. Now you've got the Mikhails bell to answer.
All right, Palafox able to just run away from that one. Always smart, you know, W in dangerous territory, then just insta-cast W back to make sure you're not going to get hit by anything. Works just fine for him. But now we get to see EG try to close the game out. Now, Inhib is coming back up soon. The wave inside the base is the last super minion that EG are getting out of bot lane. So they got to get stuff done in top and mid.
And they have a push here. Svenskeren threading the wraparound. And it looks like a long flank here potentially from Rakan. He's going to try to come in from the top side. And that may be what they bet their game on. But has he been spotted? Not yet.
Ult cast and hits what looks like nothing. Lantern back. Here comes Set into the mix. Trying to get the damage, but instantly Already Dreams is dead. 1-4 though. Phyllis does get killed, but it's a triple kill already for Impact Set. The 4th comes across for Jizuke, and that's all she wrote. The stopwatch means nothing for Jose Diodo. He will drop as well as Svenskeren gets the final kill of the fight. They get the Bud Light ace, and Evil Geniuses take care of business, knocking down FlyQuest. They had the control of all the objectives. They won their lanes. They won their fights. Jizuke was everywhere. And now FlyQuest are nowhere.
Nicely done by EG, taking them down. I like the attempt on the engage there from FlyQuest, but too little, too late. They kill off the Aphelios, but the rest of the members so strong at that point, it just didn't matter. The early proactive plays from Svenskeren, he's deserving of so much credit from that. Jizuke, I think, took the advantage that Svenskeren got him and made a lot happen with it. But it was really about Svenskeren early. Getting towards mid lane, killing off Palafox. That first blood goes in his mid laner's pocket. Then they move down towards bot. They force the TP. They kill off the jungler. Back up towards top. They're diving there. There's no TP to respond because they already forced it from bot. They're constantly taxing their opponent's resources, moving around the map. They attack the 1 point of strength that FlyQuest had, which was Licorice early on, who had been winning the lane. They got Impact ahead, and through all of this, Danny is chilling in bot lane. He's farming 12 CS per minute. He's getting his items. He's getting the turret plates. And EG, just a really well played out game that didn't feel like they had many openings in. You know, FlyQuest really didn't get their foot in the door.
Yeah, off of the early game mid play, it felt like it was really tough. I mean, I think Licorice had a really good shot in top lane. He was doing pretty well over there. But then, well, there's the, 3-for-1 kill tower dive. It's like, well, your 40 CS lead doesn't matter as much when, like, the other guy got 5 turret plates because the jungler took the Herald and they crashed it into your lane. So, sorry. You know, you're not ahead anymore. You can 1v1 you now.
Exactly. I mean, he had the big CS advantage. That 3-for-1 also happened on a stacked wave where he loses all the minions. So that's gone too. Then he goes for a 1v1 and actually almost has the 1v1. He would have got the kill. But guess what? Svenskaren's there again and kills him off. So, you know, really this is one of those games where, you know, there were some good individual moments for Licorice, but he gets punished by better team play from his opponents. They're playing around that deficit better than FlyQuest played around their advantage. And it is going to be Svenskeren, as a result, who is player of the game, I think deservingly so. He made it happen for them early. He was always right place, right time, set them up for a lot of early dragons, for the dives on both the side lanes, won the mid lane for Jizuke with that early play that got him first blood. This is just a great game from him.
I totally agree. And I remember thinking about it last week where it's like, hey, remember that one time where Contracts, like, had the really dank Diana game, and then he comes back and it's like only okay. It's like, well, he's back on top form. Svenskeren, former MVP. Like, I think he's won a title a couple times as well. Like, he's absolutely outstanding. And it's good to see him, I think, on top of his game here in this one as well. So good job to him. On the other side, Jizuke will be joining the State Farm analyst desk to talk more about this match. And so we'll catch you there.